Track 1.6. 1.
Well, first you need to look at your budget. How much money do you have to spend on decorating and furnishing? Don't worry if you haven't got a lot. Not everything you buy needs to be expensive. You can invest in a couple of quality items and build the rest around those. These other items can be second-hand or new. It really depends on what you find.
2.
You should have seen the place when we bought it. It was so dilapidated, we had to work on it for an entire month before we could even think about moving in. There was water in the cellar, the chimney had fallen down, all the light switches were out of the walls and, well, it was a mess. You're probably wondering why we bought it at all. But where else could we get so much space for such a reasonable price?
3.
First off, thanks so much everyone for helping out. You've no idea how much money and stress you're saving us. Gary's coming out of hospital in a week, and it'd be great if the flat could be ready for him by then. There's a lot to do though, so I thought we could split up into pairs and do different jobs so we all know exactly what we're dealing with. Anyhow, I'll be painting walls with Ken. Susan and Mara, could you work on the floors? And Cindy, if you could get started on the woodwork. Peter will help with that when he's...
4.
One thing you should think carefully about before you start house hunting is whether you'll be comfortable in a terraced house, especially one in the middle of a terrace. For people who've always lived in flats, it's usually fine. You're used to hearing noise anyway, and at least there isn't any coming from upstairs. But if you've lived in a detached or semi-detached house, the lack of privacy and quiet in a terrace could well be a problem.
5.
Are you ready to buy your first home but aren't sure if you can afford it? Do you need help working out how much you can spend on a home without getting into financial trouble? Come to Wells Bank and let our mortgage specialists guide you through the whole process. We will look at your individual circumstances along with the kind of house or flat you want to purchase, and then we'll get you the lowest possible interest rates and some great bonuses too. Come in today and let Wells Bank lead the way.